Thank you very much, Sean. This long weekend, two sculptors will attempt to beat their own record for Manitoba's largest sandcastle. And here were some of the details. Is one of the sculptors, Curtis Fehr. Curtis, let's talk about the logistics of it, because most of us are pretty proud of our creations at the beach.
Sure.
They get pretty big. But how do you construct with sand something that get, last record was 12 feet and this one's going to be 15? What's the secret to making it that tall?
The secret is actually the sand that's used at Grand Beach. So at Grand Beach, there's a special type of silica sand, which is naturally occurring there. And it's a very fine powdery sand, almost like a talcum powder.
Okay.
So when you add water to it, the water binds the little grains together like a glue. And that, in effect, is what keeps everything together.
Then you start building it as if you were building a wedding cake.
Correct.
So a really dry, poorly tasting wedding cake.
Exactly. So yeah, we use plywood forms. We start at about 10 foot wide, and they're boxes, as you can see there. No tops or bottoms, just the sides.
Yep.
And then we fill that up, we saturate it with water so the water drains out. And then we just keep going and we tamp it. And actually the biggest secret is the tamping. So what you want to do is force all of the air. You want to compact it so strong so that it's hard as a rock or almost like concrete.
Okay, but then, so that's the main structure, the foundation, and I can understand how that stands up. But then you get to things like these amazing spires that you put on the top of your beautiful castles. What's the secret to making those finer details?
So the finer details, you have to use some special tools. Really, it's just
wow.
Things like little pieces of banding metal that we construct into certain shapes, and then we just carve it similar to what a clay carver would use. And it's really just a lot of trial and error to understand where you can cut and how deep you can cut.
So coming up this weekend, you're going to attempt a 15-foot tall record.
Yeah.
What's the hardest part? What's the trickiest thing when it comes to making this?
The trickiest thing is just shoveling sand 10 or 12 feet in the air. That's all manually. We did that yesterday, and so there was 4 of us that were shoveling, and I can't speak for them, but I'm really tired right now.
Well, it should be worth it if you can beat your own record. And this is kind of an opportunity to inspire people for next weekend at Grand Beach, where there's going to be a competition that everybody can enter.
Correct. So the International Sand Sculpting Competition, it's open to everyone. We do have different classes, so if you are a professional, as some of us would be, we're not competing against the little kids on the beach, which is too bad because I really like beating the kids. So it's, but we have different classes. If you're a family, you're in a family event. If you're a group, you can go into a group event. If you're individual, so it's open to absolutely everyone. Really fascinating. There's $2,500 in cash prizes up for grabs. What's your number one tip? What's your number one suggestion for us amateurs when it comes to the biggest tip is, as I said, having a form that doesn't have a top or a bottom. So any type of pail, you cut the bottom out. Invert it in the sand, pack it down, lots of water, and then pull it up, and you have a very solid structure to carve with. Some amazing stuff going on there. Good luck on the provincial record attempt, and good luck to everybody who's been inspired, and we'll be heading out to Grand Beach next weekend. All the details are on breakfasttelevision.ca. Our buddy Drew Kozub today has taken our live out to Kenora with some ideas about what's coming up for Harbour Fest.